Hi guys, you're starting a new topic on simultaneous equations. So today's lesson is just a revision on two-step equations. So make sure you've got your notebooks out and you're writing the heading two-step equations and you're writing your notes down as you go. Remember, if there's a pencil mark in the corner of the slide, that means you need to be writing down the notes. So you might need to pause this video as you go to get the notes down. Okay, there's a handout that you're going to work through as well, and then the teacher has a copy of the answers to go through at the end. All right, so two-step equations. The reason that we call them two-step equations is because there's two steps involved to get the letter or the pronumeral on its own. So whenever we're solving an equation, what we're trying to do is solve for the letter and figure out what the letter equals on its own. So if you're looking at this first equation here, we know that 8a plus 6 equals 30, but I want to know what just a equals. So I need to get rid of the 8 and the 6, and they're the two steps. The hardest part with the two steps is figuring out which one to get rid of first, the 8 or the 6. Now, like it says here, you work backwards from the pronumeral. So the first thing that we're doing is we're timesing it by 8. Remember, if it's written like this, that means 8 times a. Then we're going plus 6. So if I'm working backwards, the first thing I would get rid of is the 6. So to get rid of a letter, what you want to do is cancel it. So the opposite of plus 6 is take away 6. So if I take away 6 from the left-hand side, I get 8a. If I take away 6 from the right-hand side, I get 24. Then I want to get rid of the 8. So this means 8 times a. The opposite of timesing by 8 is dividing by 8. So if I divide the left-hand side by 8, I get a. If I divide the right-hand side by 8, 24 divided by 8 is 3. So I get my answer, a equals 3. Okay, let's look at the next one. We've got 4 times m take away 8 equals 52. So I want to know what just m is, so I need to get rid of the 4 and the 8. Okay, so I need to figure out which one would I do first, the 4 or the 8. So I'm going 4 times m take away 8. So if I go backwards, the 8 is what I cancel out first. The opposite of taking away 8 is plus 8. Remember, these brackets here that I've just written down is telling me what I'm doing to each side of the equation. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Otherwise, it's no longer equal. It's like a set of scales. If I add 8 to one side of the equation, I have to add 8 to the other. Now, the whole reason that I added 8 was to cancel out this minus 8. That's the whole purpose of doing it, so that I'm left with just 4m. And then if I add 8 to the other side, I get 60. Okay, now I want to divide by 4 to get rid of the 4 times m. So by dividing by 4, I get rid of this 4 here, they're the opposite, and 60 divided by 4 is 15. And that's my answer. Okay, the next one, I've got 2x divided by 5 equals 24. Remember, when you have fractions, it means the top divided by the bottom. So this means 2 times x divided by 5. So if I'm working backwards, it's the dividing 5 that I would get rid of first. So the opposite of dividing 5 is timesing 5. So because these are opposites, it cancels out. You're left with 2x. And then 24 times 5 is 120. Okay, now this means 2 times x. So the opposite of timesing by 2 is dividing by 2. Okay, if I divide by 2 on this side of the equation, it cancels out. I'm left with x. 120 divided by 2 is 60. Okay, here we've got another equation. So I've got m take away 12 divided by 9. So if I'm working backwards, the opposite of dividing by 9 is multiplying 9. So if I multiply this side by 9, it cancels out. And I'm left with m take away 12. If I multiply the other side by 9, I get 45. Okay, then the opposite of taking away 12 is adding 12. So remember, these are opposites, so they cancel out. And I get m equals, you got 45 plus 12, which is 57. You might like to pause the video here so that you have some time to write this slide down. Okay, one last question. Find the value of x if x over 7 plus 18 equals 36. All right, so I'm just going to rewrite that equation down here, and I want to know the value of x. So to know the value of x, I need to have x equals something. the moment I've got x divided by 7 plus 18 equals something. So I need to get rid of the 7 and the 18. So again, I would work backwards. So I would get rid of the 18 because that's the last thing that's happening. So the opposite of plus 18 is minus 18. So I need to take away 18 from both sides of the equation. If I take away 18 from here, they're opposite. So I get x over 7. If I take away 18 from here, I get 18. 36 take away 18 is 18. Okay, now I need to get rid of the 7. Remember, a fraction means the top divided by the bottom, so we're dividing by 7. The opposite of dividing by 7 is timesing 7. So they're opposite, they cancel. And then 18 times 7 is 126. And that's my answer. Okay, you've got a worksheet to go through. You've got the rest of the lesson to work through that, and then at the end go through the answers. Thanks.